Who are you?
Whoever you want me to be.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
It's feeling epic.
3 words. 8 letters.
I remember everything.
Hello, and welcome back to Previously on Teen TV. I'm Jillian Banani, back with another very special episode. We are back with The Summer I Turned Pretty. I could not be happier. And we have a very special co-host today, my comedy writer husband, Tyler, who I recently made watch all of The Summer I Turned Pretty, seasons 1 and 2.
You certainly did.
In a few days, you did this.
It was a cram. Yeah, it was a cram
was a full
session.
binge.
It was like Conrad having an overnight study session. That was me watching The Summer I Turned Pretty.
I should have brought you burgers for every episode you finished.
What else do I get? I'm shook. We just watched that trailer. You just showed me the season 3 trailer. I wasn't ready for it.
It was fun watching you watch it, not knowing anything.
Literally just minutes ago I watched it. I'm still like processing. That was a lot. That looks like they're going to cover a lot in the next season. Like, I mean, he's a doctor at some point.
We're time jump. We're jumping ahead. There's no way he's a full doctor yet.
It's
but
wild.
saying Dr. Connie Baby is quite fun, I will say. Your jaw dropped during the "we're gonna get married" line. You did not
I
see
did
that
not see that. I continue to not understand the show I'm watching. Like, it keeps surprising me. Like, at first I was just like, what's going on with these adults? They're being so weird. And then I of course in season 1, then there's the reveal of Susanna's cancer. And there's just things like that keep happening where I'm just like, what? Like, and now this is just, I don't know. I'm shook.
I feel like season 3 is really going to bring the drama. And you really don't know anything, even though I have been talking about this show now for 3 years. 3
In one
years,
ear,
I have been
out the other.
I've been telling you about this show. When you were shocked about Susanna's cancer, I was like, where have you been the last 3 years? Like, this is what I've been talking about.
No clue. Well, thanks for having me on, Jillian.
Thanks
here
for being
in our
here.
living room. Well,
yeah,
you're
we're married, but we're in
your
separate
headquarters
rooms.
in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me on to talk about seasons 1 and 2 of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and again, I guess a little bit of season 3 because it's coming up this week. And I just, man, I don't know. There was so much thrown at us there of just like, it looks like her and Jeremiah are pretty like have been together for a while. It looked like in that one scene.
I mean, we jump ahead. I believe it's 4 years, they said, that we jump ahead. So they're in college. They've been together
So when this
time.
season starts, we might be 4 years ahead of where we just were?
I think so, but the book is only 2. And I think in the show, they said they're jumping further ahead, which I think actually makes more sense for this marriage storyline.
Yeah.
Like, I took it as maybe it's 3 or 4 years. I honestly, I cannot remember now.
Whatever.
But
it doesn't matter.
Whatever. I feel like they never, there's been conflicting stuff a little bit about it. But yeah, they have been together this entire time. So they are now in a long-term relationship.
Wow.
And Connie's off in California at Stanford.
I saw that Golden Gate Bridge.
Did you also notice the golden hair now? His hair is
California
slightly
boy.
lighter. He's got that California blonde now.
You think it suits him?
I don't know. I think the East Coast is calling him back.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into seasons 1 and 2 before we spend too long talking about seasons we haven't watched yet.
It was fun rewatching seasons 1 and 2 with you. I have been avoiding rewatching this show for a bit because I wanted to save it for when season 3 was about to come out. And we weren't planning on you watching it with me. It just kind of happened. And I got to say, it was fun watching it with you because you kind of brought out some different perspectives that I didn't think about a lot.
I don't normally watch these kinds of shows. So, yeah, no. I mean,
But
watching
you were
kind of from
loving
a
it.
dude's
You
perspective,
liked-
but I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
You
I think
did.
it's like smarter and like I don't know, more modern and interesting than I expected it to be because I am used to, no offense to like CW shows we grew up with, but I just don't think they were quite as like TV back then was a little different because it's like you didn't even know if you're going to have a show the next season and things like that, or week to week, or how long you're stretching out. And it was just a whole different vibe. And so like to see this so clearly planned out of like knowing where it's going, it's like Breaking Bad level. We know where we're ending this show. Like
It really is.
It's kind of fun.
Wow. Has The Summer I Turned Pretty ever been compared to Breaking Bad? Probably not.
But I mean,
we're here to do that on this podcast.
Well, I did keep saying to you, I was like, man, they had to have Jenny Han like running the show because like if you start like messing with the books too much, people are going to get upset. And so like it's nice that anything that's happening, she's signed off on. Like this is still her story. No, I liked it. I thought the love triangle was like fascinating. I feel like you really swing back and forth. I started out was just out on Conrad at the beginning.
You
because
were.
I didn't know the reveal of what he's dealing with his mom. So like
I
think
saying,
you almost
wait.
forgot that too at the beginning of like he's a real bummer to be around at the beginning.
I forgot that we didn't know about the cancer yet. Like, I kind of forgot that he was like the only one who knew and the only one who was dealing with this. And I definitely forgot how much he was drinking in those first couple of episodes. They really
was
kind of
putting
show
him
him as
away.
this like bad boy. He's smoking, he's drinking. And like after knowing Connie Baby now a few seasons, like that is not his character.
I was like, who is this guy? Because like early, it's like Cleveland when he first meets Conrad at the bookstore. He's like, oh, the guy that's been pounding Chardonnay the whole time. And it's like, is this guy just spinning out? Like, who is this guy? Like, they really treat him like he's like an alcoholic, but he's like, I don't know. He's like an 18-year-old kid who was just really upset at this short period of time.
And no one's putting it together. They're all like, oh, he's sad about that girlfriend.
Well, I got thoughts on these adults. Some of them are a little loopy.
You really had some thoughts on Laurel and Susanna at one point. You're like, what is going on with them? And I was
just like, what's the
just
drinking
wait.
age at Cousins Beach?
Yeah.
It was just a wacky place.
I know.
Which,
but
like, I get. Look, sure, people like can have different levels of letting their like kids get away with stuff, but they were like letting these kids get away with like murder. Like they were letting these kids like just openly. I mean, that one day, like Belly had like 7 margaritas, and like I don't know, it was just a wild place. But you understood it a lot more when you understood what like these lifelong friends, and like one of them is like clearly about to die. Like you understood more of the vibe.
They're being a little more lenient.
Yeah.
I also thought that kind of brought a little bit more of a like wild fun side to the show that I just like didn't think that we were going to get ahead of time. Like it is kind of a little bit more risque might not be the word, but you know, a little more like, yeah, these kids, they're going out, they're drinking, they're going to parties. Like, I feel like that sometimes is a little bit more fun to watch in these shows, especially for a summer show. So I feel like I didn't mind them acting a little bit more adult because like, I don't need to like watch these boys play video games, you know?
So, I was going to talk about this later, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it now. Is I kind of have a big unifying theory of the show in that,
my God, I feel like you're about to bring up like a Twin Peaks theory about this show or something.
Not really. It's more just like, so like there are like logistic things that are quite odd about the show. Like, why is Belly, like the timeline of the prom breakup to when they're all together in season 2, while like Belly and Steven and I guess Jeremiah are all done with high school, but Conrad is still taking exams. Like the timeline of all of it is very odd and fuzzy. And it also goes along with some of the just, so what I kind of think about the show is I think they're telling you this from the voiceover is that this is a memory of summer. Like this is like someone's retelling of a memory of how they remember their summer being. And when you remember a summer, you're definitely going to be wrong about what week or what month things happened and like timeline stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like they have kind of proved already too that Belly is a bit of an unreliable narrator in this. Like especially in her relationship with Conrad. You know, she kept saying like that, oh, Conrad broke up with me at prom, which like is not exactly how it happened.
Yeah, you're right. Because he didn't say that. He just was like, I can't be with you tonight. And then she was like, it's over. So like,
and I think that they're trying to show like Belly's a teenage girl. She is not seeing, like, she's a little bit of an unreliable narrator in this. And also everybody has their own perspective in this though, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a part of it. It's like, and that's why we get, you know, Jeremiah's narration in season 2, because he has a different perspective on seeing Belly for the first time that we didn't get to see in season 1. So we're constantly seeing different perspectives.
You're so right. That's what the show's playing with, because like in the finale of season 2, when it comes back and it's showing you Conrad's perspective on walking up on them kissing, like, it just feels a little different. And again, I think that's what the voiceovers are there to tell you too. Again, this summer is not like the summer I turned pretty. It's past tense. The summer I turned pretty.
Yeah.
So it's like she's telling you this story back. It's almost like a How I Met Your Mother or The Wonder Years kind of thing, where it's like memory.
How I dated 2 brothers.
How I broke up a family. How I turned 2 brothers against each other.
Okay, before we get any further into this episode, you need to declare yourself, okay? You have to decide once and for all, are you Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah? The people need to know. No more switching back and forth.
Isn't it complicated?
It is complicated, which is why it's a good love triangle. And I flip-flop back and forth a lot.
You're clearly Team Conrad, though. You're very forgiving of anything he does.
Yes, I am, because there's reason behind what he does. I will say, though, early on in season 1, I was Team Jeremiah. I didn't really become Team Conrad until him and Belly kissed for the first time. And then I was like, okay, I mean, this is good. I was too happy for her that she got that kiss from him, everything she's ever wanted.
I mean, I understand it. That guy brings the heat sometimes when he's just like, all of a sudden, just like I was saying with the burgers, of like, what else do I get? And like, what was the line he said to her about the cocoa?
I thought cocoa was your specialty.
Yeah. I mean, this guy is bringing the heat with he does those long stares at her and really brings the heat. I'm like, what confidence this guy has to be like 19 or whatever. I would say I am Team Jeremiah at this moment in season 2. But now you said a little bit that you throw out logistics, and like it's hard for me to do that. I think they make so much more sense together. Like she already dated Conrad for a while, and I know he was going through it, but even when this guy's not going through it, he's kind of a moody bitch. Like he is a moody guy. Like it is hard to keep up with where he's going to be. And like she said it best when she's like, he gives you sunshine and he takes it away. Like it's like he's a lot, but like also he is going like to Stanford. Like he's going across the country to college, and like Belly is still at high school, has one more year of high school. And like Jeremiah's going to be nearby. Like, and it sounds like they might go to the same college. It's just like Jeremiah is also kind of like a fun, outgoing guy that like Conrad, it feels like if you're in a relationship with Conrad, like it's serious. Like we are getting real serious. Like where I feel like they aren't hanging out with a lot of other people when they're like hot and heavy in a relationship.
And I think that's all fair. And I do like Jeremiah as a person. Like,
how can you not? He's the nicest guy in the world.
He's literally done like nothing wrong. And I know people pull out stuff of like the fireworks
he did
situation.
try to sabotage their relationship at times, but
he
like
did. But
he is a teenage boy who's trying to get a girl's attention, and he's also, in my opinion, not wrong when he's like, Conrad's just gonna break her heart and throw her away. Like,
I don't think he's done anything, though, that terrible, like, to Belly at this point in time.
Sure, yeah.
So I do understand his appeal. I think he's fun. He's cute. I feel like he does probably bring out maybe a little bit more of an outgoing side of Belly. I think for me, though, I think a lot of Jeremiah fans, they do put the logistics into it. They're a little closer in age. They're going to the same college. Mm-hmm. Like, this all makes sense. I just don't put logistics into my TV relationships. Like, I don't. That's for real life is logistics. On my TV shows, like, I'm not shipping two people because it makes the most sense. Like, that's not what I want in my shows. I want it to not make sense, really. Like, I want it to
seeing Conrad fill the feels.
Yes. The way how down bad he is for Belly, like, that's what I want. And I think the thing too with Jeremiah is like we just haven't seen a lot of like yearning from him for Belly. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen him really like fall apart without her. Like, it seems like to me he more wants her to kind of maybe beat Conrad in this thing.
You think it's a little more the sibling rivalry that's what made him like Belly more, is that he wanted to beat Conrad?
I think maybe subconsciously. Like, I don't even mean this in like a terrible way. Like, I do think Jeremiah does love Belly and is like a great guy to her at this point in time. But I think I just want a little more yearning in my shows, you know? I want Jeremiah, the guy who wants that girl so bad that it is breaking him apart. And I just want it not to be like real life at all.
Sure. Well, if there was ever a villain origin story, it's Jeremiah getting subbed out at that volleyball game, because that is that is humiliating to an 18-year-old boy. Like, that he was playing volleyball with this girl he likes, and she's like, "You suck. Get out of here. I'm bringing in your brother, who I like more." That is just devastating. So it would make sense if this guy became the Joker at this point. So I get what you mean about Conrad, and I get that you like that he feels the feels. That I can call him kind of a moody fella, but you see that as like that angst, that longing, that he genuinely loves her is what you like. You like almost, I feel like when he, not that you like when he turns mean, but you like that he cares so much that he has to like protect himself and lie about whether he loves her and stuff.
Yeah, hot. Like, that's what I want. Again, not like I would not want Conrad like as he is right now, like in real life. But like in a show, I just think it's like more interesting to watch. And I feel like what I really have liked about this show is that you can tell that he really loves Belly. And it's in these like longing looks and in these other moments. And I feel like when I was reading the book, I wasn't like getting that vibe as much from him to like the third book. So I think with the show, it's been fun like seeing that and seeing like how much he actually is into her. Sure.
Well, I get what you're saying about Conrad. Two defenses I have of Jeremiah is exactly what Conrad's roommate said at Brown, where he's like, those ocean eyes, though, dude. Like,
oh, my
dude,
God.
have you seen this guy's ocean eyes? And I do think part of why I was rooting for Jeremiah in season 2 is I felt like he didn't get a fair shot at the end of season 1 because basically he's finally getting his chance with Belly and he's taking her to the ball and then he finds out about his mom, goes outside to have an emotional breakdown and comes back and she's basically with Conrad from that point on. Like he never really got a fair shot right there.
Yeah.
So, and then they start dating and date for what appears to be like, 9 months. Like it's crazy.
No, I don't think it was that long. I mean, I guess maybe, yeah.
If they seem to start kind of dating like, I mean, maybe it's 6 months, but it seems like they kind of start dating and then like because they go away like at Christmas and then they're still dating at prom. Like,
well, my defense to that defense is why was Jeremiah getting involved in this when he knew that this is how it was going to end? I just think that is my one. Like he knew that Belly is so into Conrad, has always had this crush, everything. He knows Conrad also like feels the same way. So I feel like it's like, why was he putting himself in the ring when he knew that this was going to happen, most likely? I just feel like he put himself in this and like played with fire knowing this could happen.
I get what you mean. And I do worry that a little bit of Jeremiah's could have been that, he was pushed to her in his competition with Conrad. He hated how Conrad took her away from him. He also lost his mother. She's kind of a motherly, somewhat like a woman he's known a long time in his life who can take care of him in a way. Like there's a lot to it that you do wonder. I get what you mean of wondering if it's as real and as heartfelt as Conrad's feelings for her. But I also think like, screw that. Everyone keeps saying Jeremiah doesn't have feelings. Like he's allowed to have feelings and like someone seriously. And it's kind of mean how everyone talks about him in such a non-serious way just because he's a guy who puts himself out there.
I will say I don't like that with Jeremiah. I think that it is so sad how like no one takes him seriously in this show, like including his mother, his brother.
When he just seems like kind of a nice, friendly guy.
I know. I think that
who's trying things. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think that is like such a tragedy, and I do feel like this happens a lot when you're not the oldest sibling.
God, you babies.
And
I am the oldest.
And I'm the youngest. And I do think that this sometimes happens where people then like underestimate maybe younger siblings if they're a little bit more outgoing or something like that. It feels like Jeremiah constantly feels like he needs to be the sunshine compared to Conrad's moodiness, which sucks. And it's not fair. And I do feel like that is how everybody in the show, adults, the other kids, like that is how they treat him. And I do really feel for him in that way. I almost want Jeremiah to find a nice other girl. I feel like he deserves that. Or guy. Yeah.
I mean, he clearly feels what Belly's felt from Conrad of Conrad making him feel special and important and like his best friend and then taking that away. So I do think there's almost a bond over that. And one thing that worries me about Conrad and Belly, though, is how competitive both of them are. Like they're both
you really were bringing that up a lot.
Cutthroat competitive, and like I worry that's almost more combustible than like anything.
I like that, though, for the two of them. Like, I feel like that is something that they have in common. And I feel like Conrad is somebody who would be more like pushing her with that, which I like. Like, I feel like Belly being with Conrad would strive for things more, like accomplish more things maybe. And I just feel like we haven't like seen that like really ambitious side of Jeremiah yet, and maybe we will in season 3. Not
you
saying
have
it's
to
not
admit
there.
though, if Jeremiah would have been a better date to the prom. Jeremiah would have killed
100%.
that prom.
Yeah.
Because Jeremiah would have been out there leading a line dance or something. Like, Jeremiah
yeah.
is a senior in high school also at that time. So he would have enjoyed hanging out there talking to people. I do think, though, it shows that Conrad really liked Belly to be in college and go to a high school prom like that when he's not really that guy. So
Yeah. Like
I don't
already
know.
in college, going to the high school prom. Like he loved her at that moment. It's
I reserve
just
the right
sad
to
that she
change my
couldn't read
mind.
between the lines. Like
Well,
she
don't get
couldn't
me
read between
started.
those lines.
I-
We need to go
so,
back for
you know-
1 second. Sorry, but we need to circle back to this.
Yes.
We need to circle back to my husband talking about Jeremiah's ocean blue eyes. Don't you think though, like what does kind of I think make the love triangle interesting though is that these brothers are very different. And I do want to like know more about them. Like, do they ever really hang out? We don't get many scenes of them like actually enjoying each other, I feel like, or like bonding in any type of way.
Sure.
And I'm so curious about like that relationship and what that is like.
Well, that's okay. That's one of my Tyler takes that we got to get into. But before,
Oh.
I just want to end this with just like, I reserve the right to change my mind, which I know a lot of people are much more hardcore than that. But I would say through just season 2, I, at this moment, am Team Jeremiah and think it makes a lot of sense for Belly to be with a social guy like that who, like, is nearby and easy and fun. There's nothing wrong with that when you're 17. And so I am Team Jeremiah still at this moment.
All
Going
right.
into season 3.
He's declared
and you were
himself.
still haven't changed your mind? You're still Team Conrad?
I am still Team Connie Baby, Team Conrad. I throw those logistics out the window and just think Belly and Conrad are endgame, should be endgame. That is her one true love, and I want them to be together, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Let it be. Love wins in the end.
So next we were going to talk about just my takes. Basically just, there are a few just weird things I wrote down in my iPhone notepads where I was just like, just thoughts I had watching seasons 1 and 2. And I'm going to throw them out to you. These are things that maybe I've touched on with you, but I don't think I've fully like said.
You were really keeping secrets while we were rewatching. You weren't saying much at points.
Well, I was just jotting down a few things so we could talk about it.
I'm
But-
excited.
Okay, so Tyler's takes. These are just some kind of flaming hot takes of just things I thought. So early on, I was definitely watching this show with a little bit of like dude brain, where it was the show that I'm used to watching. So I thought at the beginning that maybe Jeremiah isn't real, and I thought that he was
Because of the ocean blue eyes? Is that
I thought
why?
he was like a figment of someone's imagination, Belly's or Conrad's or something. Because at the very beginning, you never really see them interact with each other at all. Like they never
Jeremiah
really
and
have.
Conrad.
Jeremiah and Conrad don't really have many scenes together in the first few apps. And so like at the beginning, I thought maybe Jeremiah is not real, and that turned out not to be the case. That's not the show I'm watching.
Because you never saw Jeremiah and Conrad actually interact. That's why
Well,
you were like,
and
and
I was
Jeremiah's
like-
being so nice. In early season 1, Jeremiah is so nice to everybody. He's making everybody breakfast. He's helping
Correct.
everyone out, driving Belly around. It's like, that is so unrealistic also, I think, for like a 16-year-old boy
He's
being
so
so
friendly
helpful.
to everyone. Like I was
Yeah.
like, this guy can't be real.
Yeah.
Turns
that
out he was
a
real.
funny take. I like that.
I
take.
mean, another thing similar in this dude brain of like thinking I'm watching some crazy movie or something was I sort of thought maybe they were in like a time loop or something, that these people are outside of time, because I couldn't really figure out. It seemed to be the present, but no one really seemed to be on their phones or like have much tech or have many modern references. And everyone's watching movies from the 1950s. So I was like, is this some kind of like don't worry, darling, like town, or like
My God.
someone's stuck in a time loop or time traveling or aliens or something. It wasn't that kind of show. That was wrong. That was a wrong take.
That's a funny take. And you make a good point. They literally bring up nothing modern. Like, especially in season 1. Like, we're not talking anything about social media, really. We're watching movies from so long ago. I mean, even like the
Every
Hunger
pop
Games.
culture reference is quite old. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, has some disaster happened and these people are underground or something?
All they have are these old TV shows
Yeah,
and
all they've got-
movies to watch.
Yeah, all they've got is this 1940s happened one night movie. Until basically Sky gets there, and you're kind of are like, I do feel like, Sky kind of bogs the story down a little bit, but at least there's suddenly some references to a modern outside world. Like,
Yeah.
Sky makes a reference to the Avengers and stuff, and like normal, like modern pop culture.
Yeah.
So,
Although I will say all the modern references they make are like Avengers references, which is kind of funny.
yeah. So, outside of my dude brain theories, another thing I kind of have to say is Belly's a complicated teenage girl, but Belly, I feel like, is not very self-aware. Like, to be the person narrating and telling this story, like, you already called her an unreliable narrator. I don't think she's fully aware of like anyone else's motivations going on around her.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking at that party they host of like the way she skates up to those like rich girls who were there that she'd been friends with like in season 1. And I was like, she has no idea these girls hate her. Like, these
my
girls,
God.
these girls do not like her. These girls took away their clothes, ran off with them. And like, even before then, can you imagine how much shit they were talking about her and these two brothers? And like, I mean, I don't think she has any clue of like how people maybe perceive how she comes off.
I feel like they really tried to give those rich girls like a redemption arc or kind of like blame Belly for what happened. And I'm like, no, these girls are mean to her. And I don't think they ever really liked her. And I feel like the show just kind of like yada yada, like, no, everybody's good. And it's like, no, these are not her friends. And they really tried to like sell it.
I mean, one take I have of that was they need to keep being friends with that girl with the yacht who said, you want to come on my yacht for pizza and rosé? I don't care what that girl did to you. Stay friends with her.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I do feel like, though, that is kind of like a very like realistic kind of like high school friendship, though, of like, well, I need to like hang out with some more girls instead of staying at home with these boys all summer. So I'm going to hang out with these girls, even if I don't fully have too much in common with them or like them that much. I feel like it's just like,
I think it's real.
age.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's like real. But I just think it was an interesting thing I started to notice throughout the show was just like, Belly is like, I think a little similar to Conrad in that way. Those two in particular, I feel like are very much in their own heads a lot and not understanding what's going on with anyone else.
Well, I do agree with you, especially with that about how Belly doesn't seem to really like know fully like what's going on. And I feel like Conrad even said that to her when he says, you don't know the effect that you have on people.
Sure.
And I feel like that is true. She's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And it's like, you have these two brothers fawning over you, girl. Like, and she just still like doesn't realize that. She thinks she's still this like kid and that no one takes her seriously and no one wants to be with her. And, you know, she's just kind of like learning of like, oh, I am like growing up and people take me seriously and what I say and do has meaning.
Absolutely. I mean, well, Belly is a flirty girl, and she does not, she would not describe herself that way, but she is. I mean, the way she comes up to Jeremiah when they're all like sleeping on the golf course that night, and it's like, you didn't want to kiss me? Do you not want to kiss me? Like, that is some flirty girl energy. So like, she would play it off as being so innocent in what's happened to these brothers, but like, it is about a girl turning pretty. And so, like, she's enjoying all this attention guys are giving her, and rightfully so. Who wouldn't like at that age? And, like, she's playing with it a little bit, whether it's conscious or subconscious.
I will say, though, I really do love how forward she is in the show. And I know the, like, why don't you want to kiss me? Like that was extremely forward, like maybe a little too much that time. But I do love seeing like a young girl that age be forward, go after what she wants, like actually say how she feels. And she does that in season 1 with Conrad too. Like, we almost kissed last night. That's why I broke up with Cam. Like, she is very honest and forward, and we see her going after what she wants, probably for the first time in her life. And I do love to see that, because I do feel like a lot of times in these more teen shows, we see girls just kind of be a little bit more like reserved and a little bit more like scared, or like just not as forward, honestly. So I love that about Belly, that she really goes for it. I think I'm like, I should have been more like Belly at that age. Like, you should be. You're young. You should make mistakes. You should be carefree. And
well, if you're going to make mistakes and be carefree, you should be with Jeremiah.
Oh, my God. Well, that might be too much then.
All right. We're spending way too long on these takes. These were supposed to be rapid fire.
All right.
So let me just run off a few more of them and just kind of one sentence back of your thoughts on any of this stuff. Hot take. Dad's right. College boys should not be given a beach house their first year in college.
That's fair. That was crazy that they thought that.
I know we were all rooting for them, but come on. Like, think about it for a second as a parent. Another take, Jeremiah might want to explore his sexuality a little bit before settling down with Belly.
I would love to see that. I think that would have been great.
Jeremiah could have had a lot of fun in college his first couple years.
I know. Agreed with that. And something I would have enjoyed to watch.
Those ocean eyes?
Those ocean eyes in college? Can you imagine?
The volleyball coach for the high school sucks and would be fired. Are you telling me this coach is going to, like, Belly was the team captain, correct? So it kind of implies she's one of, if not the best player on the team. And I can't imagine many high schools where if the team wants a player back on and the player wants to be back on, that a coach would keep them off the team and sacrifice winning.
Agreed. I mean, she's the real villain of this story in my eyes. Like, how does she get away with this? Like, Belly is groveling and clearly went through a lot. Like, I think he would get a pass.
A quick question for you. Do you think these people, what do you think they're like during the school year? They seem to be incredibly obsessed with who they hang out with over the summer and don't see during the school year.
I know. I have always wondered this a little bit.
They say Jeremiah ends up being like prom king or homecoming king.
He's homecoming king, yeah. He went with Blake, yeah. I think Jeremiah is like king of the school, which I think makes sense because he's kind of like that in Cousins Beach too. Like everybody wants to be hanging out with Jeremiah.
Right. I think there's a chance that Jeremiah is the most popular person of these people in normal life at school, but over the summer feels like the outcast where he's not in the in crowd with Conrad and Belly.
Do you feel like he's like, why am I in this alternate universe where Conrad is cooler than me? Like this grump is cooler than me? Like, I feel like he's so confused.
I kind of do think Conrad's pretty cool though in high school because I knew those guys like that who were kind of aloof like that, where it's like, is Conrad coming tonight? And it's like, no one knows, like, because Conrad doesn't text anyone back and is always off doing his own thing. So
Conrad
it's like
is
a
definitely
rare
not
treat when
texting.
Conrad shows up to the poker game. Like,
That is so true. Also, I mean, come on, the girls would be going after Conrad, that broody type, like not saying much, like you want to be the one to try to get him to open up.
and my last one was, so on the house, what do you think the owner, do you think dad owns half this house? Is that what's going on with the house?
Oh, right now?
Like,
yeah, that's what I took it as.
They really, I had a hard time figuring
But
out
like,
the
I
house
also was like,
ownership.
I don't care about the storyline as much anymore.
Yeah,
like,
let's move on.
let's get to the bottom of the love triangle. Like, I feel like the house storyline, I was just like, we're all yada yadaing this.
Yes. Hey, one thing I noticed in the trailer is Conrad as a doctor made me feel a little bit like this guy's just playing dress up all the time because he's kind of just like, he's like a kid in different outfits. But my favorite bit they would do is in flashbacks, how they would dress them up of like, this show is a girl's not hot because she's got glasses and a ponytail, Hall of Famer. I mean,
it's so good. I mean, also, like, I think she's supposed to be around, like, what, 12 in these flashbacks, I feel like?
We got our stuff for the flashbacks. Let's put our flashback gear on.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about flashbacks. We got to put on our flashback gear. All right. I'm giving Belly with glasses, those pink glasses. Oh, my God. You do. You're really good. You look
this
like
is
a
young
sexy-
Conrad. This is how they dress young Conrad. And you're young Belly. So we're in a flashback right now.
You look like a sociopath, like a mass murderer or something.
Is this not how they make him look in the flashback? You don't think it worked?
I don't know. I mean, those glasses are very... Why are we wearing like 70s and 50s glasses? Like that is kind of how they did it in the flashbacks, which is so funny.
Yeah, they dress. Conrad looks like has like an old man hat and glasses, and then Belly has like 50s teenager glasses.
But like very thick frames. And again, I think she's supposed to be like 12, and she's in thick glasses and like overalls. And it's like at 12, I don't think you're really like wearing that. I think you're like aware of what you look like, what you dress like a little bit more. Like,
I mean, when you see the flashback, you're like, this was 2 years ago?
But I also love the flashbacks. All right. My favorite one is definitely, I mean, obviously it's a Belly Conrad one, but the one where they're on the boardwalk and playing that game. I think that there's a lot to that flashback. And maybe it will come back around in season 3 where we get Conrad's point of view on it, which will be very exciting. And Taylor Swift, Sweet Nothing is playing in the background, which is just Chef's Kiss. Great song for that flashback.
Yeah, that's the one where she wants the giraffe, right?
Yeah, but like she doesn't really want it.
That was also my favorite. Them playing games is my favorite, but my reason for that being the favorite is because all the extras, and you can just see all the extras like making eye contact with the camera and looking at Conrad.
We love that.
Belly. It's great. I love the extras that are like, you know, teenagers in Wilmington. It's the best.
That was me at one point. It's hard.
I rewatched it a couple
them.
times, watching just extras look
Bad
at the camera.
extras.
It's the best. That's the best.
So good.
All right, good bit.
All right. Glasses off.
Right.
Wait. Am I pretty now?
You're so pretty.
Am I pretty now with the glasses off?
Wow.
Is it did I finally do it? Did I finally turn pretty?
You really grew up. We need to finish this podcast up. I want to just quick of seasons 1 and 2, you've read the books, right? You've read all the books.
I read all the books before I watched the show.
of seasons 1 and 2, what are the biggest changes that have happened in the show?
I would say like one of the biggest changes, and not just like something added. Like the Deb ball is not in the books, but that's just kind of like a fun added thing. It doesn't really like change the story. I would say the biggest shocker to me was in season 1 when her and Jeremiah kiss. In the books, they do not get together in book 1. That does not happen till book 2. So I thought that was surprising because then that really caused a full flip, basically. Instead of just flip flop, we are flipping and flopping all over the place. So I thought that was really shocking. I get why they did it because they wanted to bring up the love triangle more in season 1 instead of waiting and then being like, oh yeah, Jeremiah's been into her this whole time too. So I totally get why they did it. I think it worked great for the show and I loved it. And I was kind of like, okay, I'm vibing Jeremiah and Belly at that point.
I think it made more sense too.
Yeah.
To like get the conflict rolling.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So I thought that was a big shock as I was watching it. Like, oh my God, this is different. And then I would say another shock, which isn't really that big of a shock, but in the books, Belly is like a virgin. So it was a little bit shocking watching that episode with her and Conrad at the beach house, like during Christmas time, and seeing them go for it, which I was happy
One
about.
of the biggest lies Conrad has told is that he didn't bring her there for that purpose. This is a 19-year-old boy, and I think there was at least a piece of his mind that thought this might could happen.
Conrad is an old soul. I don't know. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But it wasn't in a mean way. No,
At least
so
he loves her.
I thought that was I think what I liked about that is I do feel like the TV show is more adapted to like today's times a little bit more, where the story was written in like 2009. So I do love that. I feel like Belly is a little bit more of like a modern girl than I feel like she was in the books. And I think that that's also why I like to see her like go for it and be forward, because in the books I just really did not feel like she was like that.
I
So
do
that
like
was a
how
great
forward
change.
she is in the show, because it's like,
Yeah.
at least I know what she wants. At least like
I
it's very
know.
clear to me as the viewer of like what she's thinking, what she's doing.
It's just what she wants changes, but we do kind of need her to say it because it changes quite a bit. I'll be interested to see what changes with the third book. I mean, I didn't know. It seems like we are following like the marriage storyline, which I was kind of conflicted about at first, but I feel like it is kind of like such a big part of the third book. And it's kind of what brings everybody together. And I think it will be good. I like the drama, you know? It will be fun. So I'm excited that they're following that plot point, and we'll see what else they follow.
That was shocking to me when I saw that in the trailer, because I was like, this is the whole reason I was for Team Jeremiah. Is I was like, let's not get so crazy serious like
Yeah.
at this age, but seems like it got kind of hot and heavy. I was like, this ain't One Tree Hill. We don't need to get hitched immediately.
I know, but I think that's why I kind of love it. It is a good just storyline though, of like everybody kind of like reacts to it differently. It brings everybody together. Like I read that third book real quick because I was like, how is this going to end? And I won't tell you. But there's also some other surprises that you don't know, and I'm interested to see if they follow it. And I feel
All
like
right.
we're going to know very soon. So
Well, I'm excited to keep watching. It does feel like, you know, at this moment in time, it does feel like Jeremiah seems to have her right now.
Yeah.
It does. And certainly from that trailer, it certainly looked that way, that they seem to be together for a while. So we'll see what happens, and we'll watch together this week and pot about the first step back.
Well, what are your predictions, though?
I don't have
Do
any
you have any?
predictions. I don't know.
I know. Well, it's hard for me to predict because it's like I read the book and I don't want to tell you what happened in the book because I want to keep that surprise, shocked face.
Okay. Well, I guess if I had to predict something, it's that I think Jeremiah will. I think Jeremiah will get so comfortable that they'll be together that he once again won't see Conrad coming.
I agree with that. I could definitely see that. In the book, they have him a little bit more like distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like doing an internship, so where he's not around a lot. And I'm curious if that will happen again. And it's like Conrad has to step in for a lot of things. And that's not even really a spoiler, but so I'm curious if that will happen again. Because it's kind of like Belly and Conrad kind of keep being like pushed together in that way. But it will be interesting. I feel like it's like no matter what, they always add so much more to the show. So I can't wait.
Well, I'm
to
invested
see.
now. You drug me into this. Now I got to see how it ends. I got to see which brother ends up.
You're more invested than I thought, which is very fun. You take this seriously.
I know. I'm a little curious about like. I don't know.
To be
I don't know what she's gonna do.
Well, I feel like right now it can go almost like either way. Like it does kind of feel so like back and forth. I really do just hope at the end, though. My hope and wish for the end of this thing is that everybody is okay at the end and like happy and that they're all still able to like come together. So like if she picks Jeremiah, I want Conrad to be okay and happy. If she picks Conrad, I want Jeremiah.
I think this would tear a family apart. These brothers are not going to be okay with the other one having her unless she just ends up with someone else completely.
But that's what I don't want. I feel like you're
like
like
more realistic. It's
you
not
want
that
it to
I want
end.
it. It's just realistic that you would hate this person. Like you don't hate your brother, but you're like gonna not want to be around these people.
I know. So whatever we need to do so that doesn't happen, that's what I need. I don't want this to end with like somebody like burning down the beach house, okay? I need happiness.
Yeah. Well.
And just at least a sense that like everyone's okay. Because they've all been through too much together. And I do like that that's like an overarching thing of this show is that you can see them all making these decisions because of grief a lot of the time. Like these boys are so invested in Belly because Belly is the one who is constantly bringing up Susanna and like trying to honor Susanna. Like she's the one who's like, I'm not going to miss Susanna's favorite holiday. Like, there's a reason why these boys are being pulled to her. And I do think it has a lot to do with that. And a lot of even the decisions that Belly has been making is because of her grief, too. So it makes it all very interesting that we have kind of an underlying reason of like why everyone is acting the way that they're acting. And I think it makes it make sense. And the writing on the show is good. Because of that, I think.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
I like it.
He approves. He likes it.
I like The Summer I Turned Pretty. It's a pretty good show. It's fun.
I'm glad you like it. If you didn't,
I predict there will be a Taylor Swift song in season 3, episode 1.
Oh, and an
That's
Olivia
my big
Rodrigo
prediction.
song.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I know. I'm excited for the music. I'm just excited for the whole thing. It's been 2 years since the show has been on. I think we're all ready. We're all excited. We're all going to be watching together. Be sure to check back every week for our thoughts. We will be podcasting weekly. So we're ready to break it all down.
This week.
Well, I know you got to keep up. Normally you don't keep up with these shows. So I got you on a tight schedule.
You do.
And we'll see if our marriage can survive a house divided of Team Conrad and Team Jeremiah. We're really putting it to the test. So everybody,
Jellyfish.
follow along to see if this marriage can survive. Too dark. Too dark. Well, I think that about covers it. As we said, we'll be podcasting every week, so be sure to check back every week for our thoughts on the episodes. We will be podcasting throughout the season, so really looking forward to hearing your guys' thoughts on the show as well. You can follow us for more content on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at previouslyon_teen TV. We also have an Etsy shop now. You can get this Cousins beach shirt. Oh, the webcam is going all over the place. We have a lot of the Summer I Turned Pretty merch on there. Our Etsy store is previously on Teen TV, so be sure to check that out. And thanks for listening.
Bye.